What up? What up? What up everyone? Welcome to the Bombay Boy. In my previous video, I spoke about the basics of money management and budgeting. And my next video was going to be on investments. But then I thought, let me make a video on what not to do on the financial mistakes that I've made in my 20s. And the mistakes I've seen other people make when they were in their 20s. I am 30 years old and let me tell you that I have made my fair share of mistakes when it comes to my money, and that is why I'm going to give you this gyan. In the next few minutes, I would be sharing with you the financial mistakes that you should not be making, so stick till the end of the video, and if you do find value in it, make sure you share it with others. Mistake number one is credit cards. Let me correct myself. Having a credit card is not a mistake, but paying interest on it definitely is. I remember when I was in my early 20s and I saw my friends using a credit card. I had that feeling that even I should have a credit card. When I think about it now, I don't really know why, but I equated having a credit card with having money or being wealthy. I was really dumb at that time. Using a credit card is a lot more complicated than it looks. My mistake was when I got my first credit card, I thought that this is actually my money. It is not your money. It is the bank's money that they have lent you and they're making money off you. Majority of the people spend money on their credit card thinking that it's their own, like they would spend on a debit card, without really understanding that they would end up paying heavy interest on it. So always remember, if you use a credit card and by the end of the month you can pay it all off, great, or else don't use it. Mistake number two is to impress other people. This is one of the biggest financial mistakes that a lot of people do in their 20s and even in their 30s. Especially in India, talking about money or money management with your parents is considered as a taboo. And even people in their 20s don't really discuss a lot about money management. And because of that, people end up spending a lot of money on the things that they don't really need. They just spend their money to impress other people or society. An example would be, in your group of friends, many people might have an iPhone. So just because of peer pressure or social status, you end up buying an iPhone and wipe off all your savings. It could be expensive clothes or shoes or even buying a car. If you're buying something just to fit in or to impress other people, that's a big mistake. The next point is to delay your investments. When you're in your early 20s, you are just probably starting your career, you are on an entry-level salary, you're not really making that much money. The excuse is that I don't really have much money to invest. All my money goes in rent and basic expenses. So you might think, I'll wait for a couple of years, get an increment or a promotion, and then I'll start investing. Cut 2. A couple of years pass by, you work hard, your salary increases, you start making more money, but still you're not really left with a lot of money to invest. This is the classic example of the more you earn, the more you spend. What happens is, a lot of people, when they start earning more, they start spending more. So instead of taking the bus, they go buy a car, they start dining at expensive restaurants, start buying clothes every time they go out. And a lot of people even term it as, investing in yourself or living a good lifestyle. Now that's a big mistake. There is no harm in enjoying yourself, but not at the stake of investing your money. These are just ways you end up delaying your investment plans. Now coming to mistake number 4, and that's loans. I work for one of the biggest banks in Australia, and I can tell you that majority of the money that banks make is through loans. Having a loan in your 20s will bog you down. 20s is the time when you should be investing your money aggressively, and having a loan does the exact opposite. So please do not get into any form of long-term loans. A personal loan is an absolute no. Try and avoid car loans. If it's possible, buy a second-hand car. If you have to buy a brand new car, make sure that you get into a contract where you finish off the loan in a couple of years. You do not want to be wasting your money paying interest on long-term contracts. And the final mistake is something that I call as fast items. Now you may think, what is this nonsense? What does that even mean? Well, let me explain. Fast items are things that you spend on one time and are very quick purchases. So some examples would be, you see a sale which ends today, you have a habit of ordering online food for your lunch every single day, you end up having 3 coffees a day. These are things you don't really look into, but if you calculate the amount of money you spend on these things over a year, that's quite a lot. For example, person A spends 200 rupees a day on lunch and coffee. If you consider 5 working days a week, it ends up being 1000 rupees a week. Into 52 weeks, that's 52,000 rupees per year. These are expenses you don't really realize, but they suck the blood out of your income. Well, these were the mistakes that I've seen other people make, and some of the mistakes I've made myself. Make sure you don't fall into these traps. Well, that's all from my side. I'll see you guys with another video next Saturday. Until then, it's the Bombay Boy signing off.